up, everyone? This is Bobby Kennedy with Chasin Tails, and this is episode 19. All right, so let's give it a few minutes before we pop that one picture up on and trying to get people guessing. What do we want to roll in talking about? Talk about the Hornwall coming up. We could talk about keep piping up San Diego. That's going to be a big race with those GPs, and plus it's the Gold Cup for those unlimiteds. But you know,
yes,
that big number of GPs, you can't top that.
No doubt. Definitely going to be a good resurgence after not having an event last year. Coming back strong with 12, 13 GPs. It's going to be a stellar show. Points battle coming to the end. It's going to be incredible. Great for the West Coast. Try to build those numbers. I know they're building with new teams out there, new teams coming next year. A lot of things going on. Some breaking news later on, but a lot of things happening in the Grand Prix America world. Seen a lot of growth. The GP Challenge. Everybody's talking about it. They want it back next year. So this is just pushing it. See if this works out and keep it moving.
One thing I'm excited about is the Luptons are traveling west for their first time. They've been primarily racing on the East Coast in Canada here since they've been coming over, and those boys they're generally fast on big courses. I know they have a lot of big courses over in New Zealand, so pretty anxious to see the type of speeds that they put up. Probably going to be pretty shocking. I think they're going to go faster than anyone has at San Diego so far. Just go down and watch some of their races they have in New Zealand, and they get rolling on those big courses. I mean, granted, they have a flag start. They got to do away with that. They got to go to clock. But I can't hate it. I never did flag starts before.
I did them in race cars. That was pretty normal.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to do a flag start, do a Le Mans, but you don't want to do that in a GP.
No.
Absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
Only if we're strapping in and going from the pit area. Like we have to start from the dock, run to get in our boats. Jack would probably still be getting in his boat after the next heat started.
I think the craziest time with the start, but it wasn't even at the start. Something at Syracuse. What race was that? Just Syracuse? Lake Onondaga?
Yeah, that's Syracuse.
Yeah. I don't know if there was some communication problems. So they literally, I forget what it was, but they had us go out on the front stretch near the starting line, and then they did the countdown out there, and then we won. I forget why we did that.
Because there was a bunch of seaweed, and we went out there. Remember, we parked, and then they came over on a jet ski. I think Dan Canfush was one of the ones on the jet ski, and come over with a broom and brush you off and get all the weeds off your rudder. And then we started from there. That was kind of wild. Talk about screwing up racers, timing and thought process.
That is one way to eliminate these unlimited problems where you start from the dock. Everyone just go out on the race course and we'll tell you when to go.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, I feel like that would open up some worms of where people are on the course.
Be like, no,
you 5 minutes now.
Look, there's 6 unlimiteds. We're going to pull you out of a hat. You're either going to start on the back stretch or start on the front stretch when we say go. So you go out there and park, and then we say go. That would figure it out. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that would work.
There's ways to stop these unlimited antics.
No doubt.
All right, so how many people we have watching? Can we go ahead and do this take a guess thing, or you want to give it a few more minutes?
Kyle, do you have the picture queued up, or do I need to get it on my computer?
I think you need to get it.
All right, there's a unicorn that's been found, ladies and gentlemen.
Jealous.
A Grand Prix hydroplane that could not be found, located in the Pacific Northwest, and it's been found, and it might race. Not sure what team, you might hear later, but if you think of what boat we're talking about, go ahead, drop it in the comments. We're going to go ahead and show you in probably about 5 minutes what boat we're talking about.
And then we'll let you guess on who bought it.
Yeah.
We'll just drag this thing on the whole episode.
We'll drag it. We're keeping you on the whole time. That's all there is to it. So yeah, I was thinking some recap things of boat racing in general this year. What's been one of your favorite races you've seen this year? What race site to start, and maybe then you can go into the heat that you really liked?
I gotta say, well, I only been to a few races, but I gotta say Mot Lake. Mot Lake and the heat. It was any of the 350 heats, um, because that 300 is fast now. I mean, not that it wasn't before, but Ray Lynn's did a lot of work on it. So just watching that boat, it has the best attitude I've ever seen it. So that's pretty exciting. So you have two boats. I mean, I swear if they started side by side, it all depends on who has the inside between Bobby King's boat and then the Pennzoil 300. So
Wow.
it's gonna be pretty interesting. I mean, I know next time I think they'll run together is probably Hampton at the Nationals, or is that the Easterns? No, that's Nationals. Which might pull some West Coast 350s out too. So there you go. Hampton having great heats again. That'll be pretty interesting to watch. Hopefully there's live stream. I'm not sure. But yeah, just Mot Lake, that race has a lot of potential. They're already starting to get things rolling for next year, and it's going to be a race that grows. So that's and hopefully they move their date to try to get it off Topo, because that outboard marathon race is in Michigan at the same time, and some boat racers go up there to Topo. So I think if they move the date, that they'll be able to get a few more boats at the race, and let the guys who want to go play around with their outboards still be able to do that, and then attend Mot Lake also. So I don't know. There's a lot of potential there. The park's pretty excited to have the race, which is awesome, because anytime that you get a park excited to have you, that's a good thing. Rather, a lot of times the parks just tolerate you.
Yeah.
So to have them behind the racing and excited about it and wanting to do whatever they can to try to improve the race, that's pretty important to the future of that race. So what about you guys?
I'd say race site for the year, Decatur. Just being one that got brought back, seeing how many people turned out the first year, and like, I don't know. My understanding was several of the people that were helping with that event had never put on a boat race before, and at least as somebody that's been to a lot of races, like I wouldn't have guessed that from just seeing how things were operated. I mean, they, other than Saturday, we got a little delayed, struggled with the wind a little bit, and ended up running heats pretty late into the night, but they managed to get those heats off, and then Sunday went pretty smooth, I'd say. And even when we did have that wind delay, we had, I don't know, what'd you say, several hundred, if not a couple thousand people walk through the pits, get to interact with the drivers, interact with the teams, check out the boats. It was just cool to see a race that's been gone for, what would we say, 20 plus years, come back so strong right out the gate.
About that.
Already, there's a lot of good racing that weekend. They had some really good competition in every class. I'd say that was probably the most 1-liters we've seen on the course at the same time this year, and they had some fast 1-liters, so that was cool. Bunch of skiffs.
That's one class I hope we get at Mot Lake next year, skiffs. I mean,
yeah.
I told them, I was like, there's some classes that are hurting and there's some classes that you don't have. And I was like, get skiffs on. You have hydroplane class after hydroplane. It gets pretty boring, right? Got to get the skiffs there, get them rolling. I mean, they're great entertainment. They're fun to watch, fun to race. So hopefully we can get them at Mont next year too.
Jimmy Stewart actually just said, in reference to what you were talking about, Bobby said both those 350s have great motor programs. So yeah. I guess I'm a little biased with that motor guy.
Yeah. That's one of those, if you can't beat them, join them kind of things.
Yeah. I mean, proof's in the pudding there.
Oh, for sure.
What about you?
I think I kind of got to go along the same lines as you with Decatur. Beyond just being a awesome race and having it come back after so long and being so smooth first round is pretty awesome. But it was just a overall great race kind of for us. And the weekend we had, it was our pretty much first time ever being at a race without our dad or you guys. So just me, Kyle, Mom, my girlfriend, and the 2 Pauls helping us out. And it was a pretty hectic weekend, but we got it done, finished pretty well in both classes, and it was fun. I did a little welding on the side, which I'm not doing every time for all you 1 liter guys. I'll help you out every so often, or if you got some beer for me. But yeah, it was just a great weekend. I mean, everyone was real happy to be there. The fans were excited. It's just one of those races that overall, from start to finish, you had fun at and you want to go back.
Nice. Yeah, and I know Sean's already working on it for next year. I hear they're trying to get GPs. That would be incredible. It'd be probably our smoothest water we race on besides Gunnersville. And now
Definitely.
there's been a lot in the news about Gunnersville. If it can even come back next year with finances and stuff, we hope they do. That race committee is incredible. They put on a great event. So hopefully they can work things out, make it a better event for next year, make it a money-making event. Obviously, that's good for the town. But for me, I'd probably have to say seeing the crab feast come back at Cambridge, the Ken Island Cambridge, is just that's what the sport and for me growing up has been built on, is sitting with friends talking about BS and racing, and that to me means a lot more than the racing at the end of the day. I think when we had Sean on, he said that's what he enjoys the most, is the family aspect and the friendships. Like, that's what we're always going to talk about. We're not going to talk about the trophies we win. We're always going to talk about those friends we made, and I think that's just a testament to our sport. So I'm glad they brought that back. I hope they continue. And the Chasin Tails effect seems like all these races are bringing some type of feast back, whether it's crabs, hot dogs, a barbecue out in San Diego. It's, Mays Landing does a little potluck coming up with all the Skiff guys and everybody. That's what it's all about. And I think we continue pushing that aspect on Chasin Tails, and every race will have it again.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Some beers, some burgers.
We've been to 3 or 4 races in a row now where they've had some sort of a potluck or a.
Y'all did it at Mot too.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. It's just cool, like you said, getting everybody together Saturday night, and it was cool in Mot because the Wilsons kind of, I won't say hosted, but they were kind of the ones that organized the whole potluck, and like kind of right as everybody got there, they come rolling in with the brand new 2.5. It was like a perfect little bit of entertainment for the potluck.
I gotta say, when they rolled in that 2.5, I know they have a 350 selling it. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look like it's huge.
No.
I was wondering what that was sitting over there.
Don't mind me.
Brandon, you gonna go for a ride?
I got this little roller coaster. I'm starting to get an itch, man. I'm about to get out of here, Dan Canfu style. If only I had more room, man, we'd be doing some stuff.
Man.
Good Jackie's bike, Dad's scooter. We got this.
Yeah,
oh man, we could do a lot. Of things
what's this? What's this? The boat of Ray West.
Somebody was
Ray
right.
West.
Yeah, I think Mark Perrier, our hydroplane encyclopedia. I know Mark worked a lot trying to find this boat.
All right, there's someone in the chat who knows who has this boat. You can't give it away. Don't give it away with the pictures either, Brandon. But I want the chat to try to figure out who bought this boat.
Yeah, it's a little backstory on this boat. It's brand new, never been raced. Dale Van Warningen, I believe, is the name. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. Built it to run as a G boat. It is on GP weight limit. Should be a pretty good Grand Prix. Again, it's east west kind of a mix.
We tried America. Finding it. We were looking for it. This was going to be our so boat. Long.
This owner did offer the trade. He wants a GP35 for this boat, so might have to think long and hard about that.
Man, it is tempting.
It's a nice boat.
Yeah.
What was G boat?
So they tried to do like an in-between Grand Prix and Unlimited, something a little bit stronger of a boat, bigger, run bigger motors like 511s, things like that. Okay. So you could run on those unlimited courses, and they were trying to run like the 2-mile course with the Grand Prix, where with our boats, it get too rough and too snotty, I guess is what their thought process was. Like Charlie Wiggins' boat, the Shallers had that built as a G boat. There was a couple others. It just never took off. The unlimited lights were popular back then, and they had a great series. Man, they don't know. Nope. Wrong. Maybe.
Maybe.
This is
Did
Chasin
the,
Tails. We always bring breaking news. We might be lying, but it's breaking news.
Did the what happened with the G class? It obviously didn't. I would imagine didn't. Work out.
It just didn't materialize. I'm a little confused on the timeline. I know GP went away for a while. Unlimited Lights came in. Then they mixed in the GPs with them, and then I think Unlimited Lights were going downhill in the late 2000s or early 2000s, and then they tried this G boat thing. I know Schaller's boat never ran. Then Charlie Wiggins bought it. I don't even know if they ever had a full class.
I thought Schaller's boat
maybe
ran in Detroit.
Mark could comment. I don't know if they ever ran it.
You remember it had that big, goofy looking
big
cowling?
Ugly scoop?
Yeah.
I know I've seen pictures of it.
I could have swore it was in the water at Detroit. I could be wrong.
Yeah, maybe Mark, you're in there. Do you know if the Schallers ever ran their G boat before it went to Charlie Wiggins? We get an answer from our encyclopedia here. So Austin, that's a cool looking model boat there.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that thing?
I got it from the guy. He's from Ecuador, Vinces, Ecuador. His name's or I know his Facebook profile is Fernando Boat Replicas. He does awesome work. I mean, just based off of a picture or a couple pictures, he did exact replica of the boat. And
prior to the flip.
Yeah, prior to the flip. We kind of got the new.
We don't have that cowling no more.
Yeah, it might be at the bottom of a river, but hey. Yeah, no, I mean, it's great quality. I mean, it's sturdy. I've already maybe dropped it once. He'll probably fight me for saying that, but it's really great quality. I highly recommend. I know he just posted today. If you guys are looking for a Christmas present or a birthday present for someone, get your orders in soon. He's going to be doing a big haul of them soon and trying to get them sent up. Obviously, shipping takes a little while since it's coming up from Ecuador, but make sure you get your orders in soon then.
Jeff Ayler said the 440 was a G boat originally.
Okay, yep, I do remember that.
And then Derek Anderson said that the Schallers did run and it was Cobalt.
Okay.
Cobalt.
Yeah, it was like red and white.
Yeah, and Uncle George says it did catch fire in the shop, and I believe it was completely gone.
That was the National Mod.
That wasn't it. No, the G boat was in there too.
Was it in there?
Both of them, I believe. Yeah. I'm 90% sure.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that was the original thought on the 440.
Yeah.
So that wasn't running a turbine originally.
Nope.
Gotcha.
And then it was just kind of sitting there collecting dust, so they decided to put that small. It's a smaller version of the L55 or T55 turbine.
Yeah.
That they tried running in that. Obviously, get some decent laps in it, but still, you're putting a smaller boat out there with really big boats that make really big holes, and it just starts to come apart. Where at least if you're out there with the same size boats, I think it could have been something. I mean, there ain't no saying we couldn't run a 2-mile course in Grand Prix, but obviously we'd probably be very spread out by then.
Yeah, spread out, and I feel like you're just bound to see some takeoffs.
Yeah.
All right, so if Schaller's G boat did not burn up in the fire, where did it go?
That's Charlie Wiggins.
Oh, that's it?
So I think, obviously, somebody said they ran it. I didn't think they ran it, but they ran it once, I guess. And then it went to Charlie Wiggins, and that's the blue and yellow one that's actually for sale now.
Okay.
That one ran in Valleyfield several years ago, didn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And he finished third in the final. And it's big and heavy. It's a
little
bit of a tank, but
you had to get it rolling on the outside and stay way outside the whole time.
Yeah. Calvin's like, man, it's hard to turn. He says, I just go into the turn. I put my knee up under my arm and I just keep her cranked.
Oh, that's great. All right. So you want to put that picture back up and then talk about it?
Man, you're putting a lot of pressure on me. Trying to work two computers at once.
Too much technical.
This is tech stuff, man.
Because the owner is in the chat now.
Is he?
Yeah, I seen him get on.
Here we go, folks. Now you
all
can
right.
see I got it.
There it is.
Got a lot of boats, man.
Man, Richard's Racing Fleet. The Navy. Richard's Navy.
Grand Prix exclusively.
Oh, man. Man, that's so awesome.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty cool to walk into.
Hell yeah.
Three
Hell
Grand
yeah.
Prix, man. 3 nice.
I couldn't imagine.
I mean,
Man,
it's
just doing one is enough for me.
Yeah, right.
I like the 2.5.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. What a collection there.
Yeah.
All of them are
What
awesome.
a shop.
Yeah.
So is the 32? I'd imagine, is that like the same hull as the 17, pretty much?
It's newer.
Newer.
They're to my knowledge they're bigger sponsons. So like the
Yeah, they
primaries
look big.
Yeah.
down here are a lot bigger. They're more shaped off the unlimited sponsons. They actually, from what I understood when we were trying to find it and we were trying to buy it, they basically took the unlimited sponson mold and shortened up where the sponson tip was, and then built the sponson. So the whole like bottom structure up to like say this area is an unlimited sponson. An unlimited sponson would probably go out a little bit further, probably like 4 more feet, I would think.
Okay.
But other than that, the shell is the same. It's the same cockpit that's in unlimiteds and in our boat. And yeah, it's just beautiful. Everything's perfect on it. It's pristine. I had a lot more pictures. I was trying to find them while we were on the pod here, of some of the quality of it when we were looking for it. But this guy was in hiding. So I don't know what kind of connections Brian's got, but I'm glad he's got them. And man, I just hats off to Brian and the whole team there at Richards Racing to do this for Grand Prix. I mean, he is super excited about Grand Prix America. We've seen a lot of growth this year with joining forces with HRL and GPA and doing the challenge. And he's trying to build up the West Coast fleet to go to all these events, Tri-Cities, and obviously San Diego, and hopefully maybe get some more events out there that they have good competitive boats. And he's geared up, man. We talked on the phone last night. He's fired up. He wants to help the class grow in more ways than just boats. They're talking about different engine packages. Maybe they're trying to find different things. Electronic fuel injection was thrown around. Just this might be a try it boat to help the class grow, help the class get easier to run.
That boat is so awesome. It's probably one of my probably it's in my top 5 of favorite GPs, and I've never even seen it run. That thing is so cool. It's awesome. Everything about it. It's different, right? It's not your cookie cutter Henderson that you see all the time. It's 100% different. There's nothing out there like it. I mean, the 17, it has some characteristics of it, but it's just different, and it's awesome. I can't wait to see it run.
Yeah, maybe Kyle Bipes would be willing to put some money in it so you can go run it for him. since he's always busting on you, maybe he'd be like, "Hey,
he did say,
I'll help you
Bobby
out."
finally find a ride.
I knew he'd be in them comments somewhere.
Billy Noonan did ask who will drive. Has there been any?
No,
it's not. It's like not on the back burner, but I think they're just putting it in there. They bought it, but they're not touching it until the end of the season. They want to focus on their 2 boats that they have now. Get those. They want to go into San Diego, with 2 good boats, putting them on the water. They don't want to get mixed in with trying to get the other boat, the new boat, ready or worked on right now, and miss something on one of the 2 boats that they're actually going to run. So he might just be the craziest man in hydroplane racing right
now. No doubt.
But I like it. It's awesome. It is awesome. Very exciting. Just definitely not just for Richards Racing, but the whole Grand Prix community, especially out west. Hop's been trying to keep it going for all these years, and then now you got some more people trickling. You got Richards Racing stepping up. 1 and then 2 boats in 1 season he bought. That's great. Well, wait, did they buy it at the end of the last season?
End of last season.
Okay.
Yep.
So he's 1 boat a season right now. He's got it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you know what the worst thing is after our conversation last night is I don't think his wife even knows. So now if she's watching Chasin Tails, which I bet she does, a lot of wives, they love our show. I know how these women are. They love hearing us talk. So she might be fine now right now. I hope they're together. Hope he can smooth it over.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Don't shoot the messenger. We will find him another boat to buy next year. Don't worry.
There's a few more still hanging out there.
Yep. They have Mario Blaine's boats for sale. As far as we know, maybe.
The 71's always for sale, I guess.
Always for sale. Breaking news on that. I think I heard they're not coming to Bahorma. So that's unfortunate.
Well, 79's always for sale too.
Yeah, 79's always for sale.
He says everything's always for sale, though.
He ought to
Same-
sell that golf cart.
Ronnie says the same thing, too.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of 79. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, you got that picture?
Yeah.
Man.
I thought that's what you were talking about earlier.
If y'all thought you were coming to a Chasin Tails for a very informative episode, we'll get there at some point. But we had a lot, and we don't have any guests this week, so we're just going to ramble. If you want to tune us off. But we're here for a good time. Next week, though, on Chasin Tails, we'll let you know we have 3 drivers racing in the Gold Cup: Corey Peabody, J. Michael Kelly, and Jamie Nielsen. We're going to talk the Gold Cup. This was all Jeff Ayler's idea, so you never know. He might pop by to razz these guys a little bit, but it's going to be a good episode. Gearing up for San Diego. And let me find this. What we got going on in the comments, boys?
Yeah, they were thinking about getting all the unlimited guys on at the same time, and I'm like, whoa! After this last race, we gotta separate them a little bit.
Well, see, what I thought is if you could, it'd be like the Brady Bunch. If you could pick your square, everybody try to go for lane 1 and see who gets bumped out.
I wish we could get them all on Hydro Sim and just let them have a pre-Gold Cup.
Pre-Gold Cup, yeah.
Pre-Gold Cup. That would actually be pretty cool. H1 needs to jump on that.
Yeah,
that would be a great.
SNHL
That would be
stuff.
some great marketing right there.
They did that during the COVID year. They had like a little mini series with like 4 races, maybe 6. They might have done 6 of them. It was cool.
Yeah, and then they did it with the drivers, and then they had people running their boats for them. And I believe Eddie Canfouche was accused of cheating.
Oh, too much time on the sim, bud.
I know.
But I tell you what, some of them guys, you guys had the F1 league that one time, and you get Jimmy Shane on there. I'm like, this dude must play video games all the time as fast as he was.
Dude, Andrew Tate's fast on F1 also. Yeah.
I'm
like, I don't understand it.
Y'all are supposed to just be boat racers, not video game guys. I guess we're doing it wrong.
Too much time on the podcast.
We need go-karts.
Yeah, sometimes we're just channeling our inner beast.
We need to go back to Wildwood to go-karts.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I forget, was it Jeff Ayler said, Wildwood, the end of the year, incredible. Like, you own the beach there.
Yeah, because no one else is there. I mean, there's a handful of people there, but, they still got a really good crowd there all the time.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of beach.
Oh, Mike Grandel, man. What are you wearing, my dude?
Mike Grandel was spotted on the beach.
Man,
this is
that
your
cheetah?
GPA.
Is that cheetah or leopard? Or what is that?
It might be leopard. I don't know. I'm not coerced on my animals, but it looks a little slick. What do you think he's on the phone talking about? He's probably talking to Kyle.
You want to buy the 79?
He's talking to Beep Beep. He's talking to Strong Racing. You want to buy the boat. You take the motors too.
I'm bringing it west. I can
all the blown up ones
Seattle.
you take.
I am gonna need that picture. Shirt time.
Yes, sir. We're doing some shirts.
Oh man, channeling my inner beast on the beach. You just don't post things like that on Facebook.
No. We will post that soon for all you to view on Facebook, and
I'm sure there's a backstory on why they wore it, but you just don't. That's freaking awesome.
That's pretty hype.
I can't wait to see that on a shirt.
Yeah, I think definitely need to get those for San Diego. That's a San Diego sellout right there on the beach. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
GP79. He's a bad influence, Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Why did that flow way too well?
I don't know, man. I've been practicing.
That was a sales pitch if I've ever heard one.
Man,
we're off the rails, folks. We're off the rails.
Are we ever?
So if you want to get your Michael Grandel T-shirt, you can contact Kyle Bipes at River City Printing. He'll take care of all your needs.
Or any shirt.
Unleash the beast.
I did see we have a couple Bowie Hunter shirts to give out. We got
the one I saw this week, Kyle Davenport. He texted me asking about it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get.
I
think he's going to be at Hampton, so we're going to get him one at Hampton.
Cool, and I know
Ken's
we still
brother
Michael
Eccles
one.
Michael from Australia messaged me and was like, he sent me the picture of Davenport. He's like, you have a Bowie Hunter shirt to give out.
That's crazy.
I love
spies everywhere.
I still can't believe how many people they hit a Bowie and they're like, yeah, I want that shirt. So it's the Chasin Tails effect. What's next? Blow over shirts?
Most people have,
Dopey-
have
bring
asked
back
us
Dopey
to
Dunker.
give them versus
Yeah,
others.
we're gonna do the Dopey Dunker Awards. We got it.
I
Where
was looking
that
up
from?
I was looking up toilet bowl awards. They do sell 'em, but-
anyone who is watching, and if you have destroyed an engine this summer and you just have broken parts around, can you please get them to one of us somehow? Because
Yes.
we want to make some special awards to give out during the winter. Maybe we'll have a Chasin Tails podcast banquet episode.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, and I was looking it up the other day. We're gonna bring back the toilet bowl award. Like I said, that was a Region 3 award, but all the nameplates got filled up. There's way too many Kennedys on that thing, so they ran out of space. So we're gonna bring it back, and I guarantee you, Kennedy is not getting it right away. But we probably will eventually.
So what is this award for those who don't know?
So the toilet bowl award was whoever had the shittiest year that year in Region 3, whether they had broken boats, broken motors, broken egos, all the above.
Us.
There's a lot. You could do a lot of people on that right now. I mean, Joe Less has had a lot of bad luck. You had a lot of GPs have a lot of bad luck. Martin Roshan, that'd be the Busted Sponson Award.
Yeah,
we just might need
literally.
a sponsor.
Busted sponsons.
If there was anything left, we could definitely use that as an award.
No, dude, he actually has like a fully parted and busted sponson. The last I saw.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
the whole top of it, like the deck, basically was still intact. We could chop that up into some pieces.
Yeah, and I did see the sponson tip was like 40 feet in the air. Could use that. Put some plaques on it.
Yeah,
I think Kyle Bipe sells trophies now too, so maybe he can help us out with that. River
he can
City
get us.
Printing's
He can
t-shirt.
get us labels to put
At least the plaques,
trophies or something. We'll figure it out. Trying to keep up with chat. They're chatting it up.
Said
yeah,
Grandel has plenty of parts to give.
Is Aunt Patty talking the toilet bowl award also went to who made an ass out of themselves? Is that why we got it so many times?
Man.
Oh yeah, Derry said I'll talk to Guya. He's got some parts.
Yeah, he's got some parts. Also, I think Jacob has some parts.
Yeah, he's got some. He's got some.
Yeah, I took
look
at that today.
I know Kreitzer windowed his engine in Rocky Fork. Well,
we don't need any blocks. That's too heavy. We just need internals. We need internals.
We'll get the internal that shot through the block.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we definitely got some things brewing there for sure.
So, yes, we're definitely going to have a Chasin Tails banquet episode, and we'll give out some special awards, and maybe those awards should we announce it before that we're giving the awards and have the people on, or just surprise them with the episode that, hey, you won this?
I think we should have them on.
Yeah.
Or if we know who we're giving it to, we just call them up randomly on FaceTime and be like, "Yo, giving you an award right now." What's it for? I don't know. Yeah.
TJ said Barber. Barber has had some bad luck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. That might be your toilet.
Bobby
right
King.
There.
Bobby King's had bad luck.
Yeah.
Man.
No doubt.
It's been a wild year.
Are we doing a Brokeback Mountain award for Bert Henderson?
It's Robo Bert now.
Robo Bert. Robert.
Oh my gosh.
That's horrible.
Oh god. That's the comment of the night. We need an award for that.
Oh my god.
I'm not even repeating it.
I want to see it, but I'm
I
not
don't
going
think we
to.
can.
If you want to see that, you gotta
Yeah, you gotta see the chat.
Oh,
that was pretty good.
So we talked about best race sites of the year. Guys, you got any specific heats you remember?
I only raced like a few heats this year.
No, I'm not saying it's for you specifically.
Spectator heats. We are on Chasin Tails. We talk about spectating.
I do spectate. A lot.
I'd say, man, I have to say in the seat, that heat with Jeff Bernard and Valleyfield for me.
Yeah.
Like, just, you got two people that trust each other, and we put the boats inches together and didn't hit Bobby.
Man. Low blow.
Although we
Low
tried.
blow.
If you look at that video, I flew over his sponson. Otherwise, I would have had a hole there too.
So what I'm hearing is maybe Bobby
Oh.
Kent need to go to some
Grandel- hey,
couples
Grandel
counseling
just
or
got
Yeah,
something?
couples
Build some
therapy.
trust.
Yeah,
Grand-
they are
Grandel-
signing a next time they're racing. I have a contract drawn up. I will not hit another boat. I will not hit
Brandon.
another boat. Sign, Bobby.
Grandel just got on.
Oh, so all right, hold on. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. This might be the award for sexy man right here.
The Jaguar Award.
It's really hard when I'm trying to work two computers and I grab the wrong mouse,
Yeah.
whatever the hell you call it. Here we go. There it is. Again, now that you're on, Mike. God dang.
The beast on the
That-
beach.
I hope you wear this in San Diego, walking down to see all your fans. And
Charlie, man.
Kyle Bipe said he can customize it and put bad influence on the back.
I
think
He's
you
on.
guys-
I'm waiting for him to comment.
I think they should. Get
Remember,
Jeff
there's
a
a
new,
delay.
I think
Oh,
they should
yeah.
get Jeff a
Breathe.
new driving suit with that blown up on the back.
No, just get Jeff a driving suit in that print.
Oh, it's the whole thing.
Yeah. All right. John Tomey said, and the best heat he's seen so far this year was Eddie and Grant Formula 2500 Friday final in Valleyfield.
Yeah,
I'd
I
have to
can't-
say
Yeah, I
that.
watched that.
I
That
can't
was
really
really
disagree
good.
with that one.
That
Yeah.
was incredible. Yeah, deck to deck for 4 laps. What'd they do?
I think it was 3.
intense.
I don't know what they were doing for the final in that because that was the invitational. I don't know if I would imagine it was probably.
I think
4,
it was, yeah, probably 4.
because they did 3 for the qualifier. That was a really good.
Eddie
heat, though.
Eddie says he didn't like that one that much.
Billy Noonan said Kyle Johnson's heat win a couple weekends or 2 weekends ago and Mott in the old wooden Geronimo.
Yeah. That's awesome for an old boat. A lot of history
No,
with that boat. A lot of
that
history
thing-
with the
Still just
family.
flying it.
Like, just
That
awesome.
boat is running phenomenal. I mean, it's running fast, and he was
It's
hanging
running
it out there.
scary,
The whole
man.
thing wasn't touching the
It's
water.
running scary.
Yeah, I was doing radio, so I was up on the beach for a while, and I called back to John Brennan. I called him on the phone. I was like, dude, I don't know if you can move that strut or not, but I'm like, Kyle's only got a few weekends under his belt, and he's hanging out there, not touching the water. So I got back to the pits a few hours later, and they put duct taped hoses across the deck to try to keep it on the water because they couldn't move their strut anymore. But that boat's running really good. They're doing really good with it. Kyle he's not a rookie. He raced last year, but for him only having a few weekends of racing under his belt, he's doing pretty phenomenal, and I'm pretty proud of him. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I'd say throw back to this didn't take long. This was like one of the first heats of the year, but Kenny Brody and Jacob Hanall in Cambridge,
Yeah.
they went deck to deck for 5 laps.
Yeah.
I think if I remember right, at least the way it was posted on HRL, they were like 0.002 seconds off, 0.004 seconds in time or something like that.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
crazy
that's
margin.
awesome.
That was cool. I mean, that might have been the first round of qualifiers. Yeah, I think that was the first round of qualifiers for the year.
I think
2.5
so.
stop. I mean, right off the bat on Saturday.
So TJ Serwinski says, come on, man. Cambridge GP final from lane 3 with the 71 and 577 on the inside. Epic.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty good. That was a lot. That was too long ago. I forgot about that one. Yeah, it's been, just incredible racing all year long. It doesn't matter whether it was APVA, inboard, GPA, HRL.
Yeah.
Incredible racing. Like we've said multiple times on this podcast, and that's why we're doing this, is to grow the sport. We have a good quality show right now. We have social media that gives us opportunities we've never had before. We can't go get TV deals. We can't compete with NASCAR, IndyCar, F1. But social media opens those doors. YouTube, TikTok, so Facebook, all those. We're going to start getting into more of that, I think, on some of these episodes of how to do the video editing, because we need more teams to do it. Obviously, if you see what Chasin Tails does and TKO Racing, and Mont Work and all these guys that have a good grasp on it, if you did that as a team, this thing would grow, because the more eyeballs we can seeing hydroplanes upside down, things like that, is definitely how we grow.
Yeah. And
Yeah, if
Take it
everyone
from
pitches
us.
in.
we are not the smartest. We're not the best with technology, although it seems like it. Brandon's pretty damn good, but the rest of us, we get by. And it's really not that hard. Little bit of time, little bit of effort.
I just know how to click the join button.
Yeah.
Exactly. You see, we
messes
had a
that up
live
sometimes.
intro and we couldn't even get it up on here.
Yeah.
Try on
maybe
it.
maybe I should play it from here.
Yeah, the 1 liter mods aren't showing that good this year. I don't know how
They
they're
might
doing on
just
the West
get
Coast,
the
but
toilet bowl award for the class.
the whole class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Engines blowing and pipes breaking. And,
Not enough boats.
yeah.
Wonder if
Yeah.
they'd go on probation. I mean, I don't know about the West Coast, but there's been hardly any on the East Coast.
Yeah.
They weren't even
I
in
don't know.
Mot Lake, but
Wow.
Yeah, hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully they can get boat count, be a little better at some of these remaining races, and hopefully that can carry into next year a little bit.
I mean, I remember them back in the day when I was a little bit younger watching them race, and you get a couple of them boats out next to each other, and it makes for some a little bit weird sounding, but really good racing. I mean, they're fast
Yeah.
boats, and I mean, you got to know how to drive them too. I didn't know what staying on the pipe was. I still don't know what that means. I get it. I get it.
I was never
but
good
I
at it
don't.
either.
it's
I
got
don't
it's got
understand
a
it.
power band. So once that pipe gets loaded up and starts going, if you get under a certain RPM, it loses its.
So stay going
Yeah,
fast.
you
Got
just
it.
got to hammer down.
So it's like a 2.5 mile. You just step on the thing and don't lift.
You don't lift and you drive it with the wing. Don't burp it. Don't lift. I mean, you can burp it. I mean, Timmy Collins, when I drove his one time, he's like, "Oh, you'll fall off the pipe. You can't get it." I'm like, "I'm out there. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just driving it the way I want." He's like, "This boat won't walk," and I'm like, "I got it to walk." But no, that was a pretty 1 liter mod is a pretty fun class. You want me to go on one of my rants again?
I
we
was
turn it
thinking we were
red?
gonna combine classes. That would
Yeah.
be the rant.
Yeah. Put 1 liter mods and 2.5 stocks together. I mean, everyone, the 2.5 stocks will be like, well, 1 liter mods are faster. I'm like, but they can't park, so they won't have the inside. They'll be on the outside.
Yeah.
It'll even things out.
And who cares at the end of the day? What if you put them together and the first Y boat gets first place, the first 2.5 stock gets first place?
Yeah, do that.
If we're worried about the trophies, I mean, because obviously trophies are still important. You want them on the shelf and stuff like that. Maybe that solves it. The points thing, I mean, it works out. Same thing. You just take them out. You know, Aunt Patty, she can do that stuff.
Right.
With her little
Yeah,
spreadsheet.
I mean,
Got
and then-
formulas.
Then you'll have people like, oh, well, we want to go for records. And I'm like, well, records don't really put fans on the beach. So,
Yeah.
Full classes is what gets people excited, not three or four boats running together. I mean, I know they lowered boat count to 3 boats to be able to get points. I would have upped it to 5 boats to get points. Push people to drag others around out of their garage and get on the water rather than, oh, we have 3 going. That's all we need. That's bump that thing up to 5 boats for points. And if you don't have, and if 2 classes close in speed and size and don't have enough boats, then you combine them. That's what they need to do.
Just like I know this year at
Got my
Rocky
rant
Fork.
out of the way now. All right, we can move on.
Actually, multiple times this year for Region 6. Rocky Fork, they mixed the national mods and G&Hs, I believe. And then at Mot Lake, they had the G&H and the Grand Prix together.
Yeah,
obviously, that was more of a little bit of a test exhibition, but it put 2 boats, 2 fast, loud boats out on the water. And I'm sure the fans absolutely ate that up, being about 50 to 100 feet away from that. I'm sure they felt the Grand Prix and the G&H and ate it up.
Yeah. I mean, there's ways to do it. Again, like having the race car experience when we'd race with 6 different classes of cars, we'd have speed difference of I'd be doing 150 down the end of the straightaway, and you'd have a little Formula V that could barely hit 100, and your closing rate's insane, but it's part of it. And just added to, instead of having a car count of say 20 and a bunch of classes, they had 60 cars in each thing, and it just makes the day go quicker, gives you more time for other things, and puts on a better show for the fans. Most of those fans don't understand the different classes, so they're gonna just enjoy seeing more boats on the water at once. And I mean, it's just it gets hard because in APBA inboard you have all the points and everything, and you want to keep everything the same, and there's a bunch of hoops you got to jump through to make these things happen. But I think if you take the points out of it and just say, hey, we're putting these boats on the water, If you only have 2 Y boats, sorry, you're not going to get high points, but you're going to race with these guys. You're going to have more fun. And there's going to be battles. Like, even 2.5 mod, 2.5 stock. There's sometimes 2.5 stocks beat up on the 2.5 mods, but it's still puts on another show, gives people opportunity to race some more with other people.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about putting boats on the water, a good amount of boats on the water together rather than 3 here and 3 here. You put them on the water and you say you have 6, it's better for the fans, and plus the owners and drivers still get to go turn laps like they wanted to, so I think it's a win-win
for sure.
Yeah, I know this year, like, I think, what was it, Mott, that they ran? They had Steve Lynn run with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. They threw, which, like, that I guess it's usually the other way around. The stocks run with the mods, not the mod with the stocks.
Yeah.
And although I do think, like, with as many boats as they had in the stocks, it kind of got, I want to say the mod got in the way, but, like, I know some people felt the course got a little rougher than maybe it needed to be with having that extra boat out there. But, like, he was running up front with I think it was Kreitzer for a minute.
Yeah.
And, like, for somebody that doesn't realize necessarily the difference between the 2 boats, like, it wasn't a bad show to watch.
And I mean,
Right.
I can't say for sure, but in the final that Couchet had me drive his 2.5 against Steve Lynn's mod. Obviously, he was throttling it a little bit, keeping it next to me, but we went deck to deck for 5 laps, and I know I talked to a couple people, friends that were watching. They said it was awesome. They couldn't tell he was throttling it, but
Yeah.
Right.
it was deck to deck for a couple laps. A, S. Nobody knew the difference.
Yeah.
Makes
And it
sense.
helps when you got a good announcer like John Toney making it a show too,
Oh, yeah.
like he did there. Like, John knows that Steve's, taking it easy, trying to put on a show, but he doesn't convey it as just like this simple thing. It is still a race. They're still battling. He did a really good job with that. I was over there for that heat, and even that, I was actually sitting there talking to a coworker of mine at the time, and she was like all into it, like thought that it was a race, and that's the kind of an ignorance is bliss thing. Is like, not all of our fans have been to 20 races and know the difference between the classes. So if to them it's a good show, like, at the end of the day, it's a good show.
Right.
And
90% of the fans thinks it's a good show.
To answer your question, Mom, we've missed 0 Mondays after racing.
But so I
No
do
excuse.
think if you do have to combine classes because low boat count, you do have to try to consider speed to be able to combine them. Like 1 liter mod and 2.5 stocks. I mean, 1 liter mod, 2.5 stocks, combine them. 2.5 mod and 350s, combine them. National mod, GNH, combine them. I know 2.5 mods say, oh, they put big 350s put big holes in the water. It's like, that's just the biggest excuse I've ever heard in my life. Obviously,
2.5
I
mods
never
put
raced.
big holes in the water.
And obviously, I never raced in Tonawanda. Do you see the holes in Tonawanda without any boats just running?
Yeah.
I don't think any of the A-boats could race in Tonawanda.
No, a lot
They
of
don't
them
have
would,
wings.
and they would come back in splinters.
Yeah.
But
Well, you think about it, it's all propeller size. 2.5 mods run the same propeller, just a little bit bigger pitch, but diameter, all that, the hub, everything's the same on a 2.5 mod as 2.5 stock. They're not putting in too much bigger of a hole. The boats are similar size. So there's
I was
certain
talking
ones-
about 350 2.5 mod.
Oh, sorry, I was spaced out. But yeah, same thing. There was not that. That was the best combination. 350s,
Yeah.
2.5 mods.
Yeah.
The only problem was they couldn't park. But again, they're putting on a show. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we just got to worry about the fans, what they want. And Eddie Camfush had a good point in here about doing the showdowns again. And I'd love to get Jeff Ayler, John Tomey's reaction to that and see if we could put something like that on at some of these events. Get a 350 and 2.5 stocks, like multiple of them. Start them 20 seconds back, do the math of what you think would make a good show at the end, and do that. Man, those are some cool old videos to see. And I mean, I think we got the competition level and good drivers that could do it.
Yeah.
And who knows, you might get extra boats to those races. They're like, oh, that'd be really cool. I want to do that. I always saw it back in the day, and they're going to come to say Decatur because they can run that showdown.
Yeah. I remember watching a video of that earlier this year, the 2.5s and the 5 liters. I don't think it might have been Decatur. It was Dan Camfush and somebody. I can't remember whose 5 liter it was.
Joe Les.
Ken
Les.
Brody.
Or was it
wasn't
one
Ken
of the
Brody?
senseless boats?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they used to run invitationals all the time where you had a couple boats from different classes go out there and they would start at a different time as well, I believe. And it was pretty cool to watch. But, you know,
So there you go, Sean. Put it back
yeah,
on in Decatur.
Nikki just said she will mention it in the upcoming meeting.
yeah, I mean, that's all it takes is some race directors to, I mean, it's not that they don't want to do it. I mean, that was 30 some years ago. I mean, a lot of times, you know, people forget about things like that were popular, but just kind of died off. Like invitationals. Like I remember they used to run the invitational at Hampton all the time and they stopped doing it. But I don't know. Just something to think about. Maybe a little thinking outside the box never hurts. Just put more boats on the water, more show, keep your spectators entertained and buying more food and hanging out and watching some good old boat racing.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. So we got to talk about San Diego a little bit. We have Brett Holloway in here just hooping and hollering about San Diego. So I know he's pumped for it. I know a lot of people are pumped for it. It's gonna be a great show. I mean, we touched base on this a little bit at the beginning of the episode, but it's going to be awesome. Like I said, the New Zealanders, they love those big courses, but so does the West Coast boys. So it's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah, I want to know what kind of shoot speeds they run. Obviously, we've never been to San Diego. We've never run on a mile and 2/3, but I feel like over the past 5-6 years of Grand Prix here on the East Coast, we're probably 10 to 15 mile an hour faster in a straightaway at, like, say, Valleyfield than we were 6 years ago. So now you tack on another 500 feet to a straightaway. I don't know the exact, or even 1,000 feet to a straightaway. Are we going to be going over kilo records there in San Diego on those courses? And the kilo's, I think, 171.
I don't know. Brett will be able to tell you because they have the kilo record. I'm 99% sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just obviously the average lap time record, San Diego course record is 131. So that almost leads you to believe with the big corners like they had that he was probably going over 165, probably touching, I would almost bet touching 170.
I could have swore I heard that Jeff Bernard said he touched 170 at San Diego last year.
Yeah, I would almost just by the average and course size and the speeds we were running in Valleyfield this year, I really think they would be touching 170. And I mean, like you said, you got guys that have run on these big courses down in New Zealand. They know gear setups. I mean, these gearboxes usually have 20 to 30% overdrive. Now we're going to have to go 30 to 40% overdrive with that same propeller or go to a bigger propeller. Just let it eat. That means for race fans that don't know, with the gearbox boat in a Grand Prix, it's overdriving the propeller to keep the engine RPMs down. So if the engine's turning 8,000 with 10%, that means the prop's turning 8,800 and so on. So think of that with 30 to 40% gears in the boat. That prop is turning 12,000. You're almost like unlimiteds at that point. Yeah. There might be some blades flying off some of these props if we do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that'll be crazy. Would the 35 even have gears for that?
No, no, but we got big props. We still got direct drive props. I'm not afraid. We're not afraid to try different propellers.
Yeah, that's
you guys got any predictions for San Diego?
Ken Lupton.
Yeah,
Ken Lupton.
Yeah, that boat is built for a course like that. The flat boat. It's a fast course. I mean, I bet he does a average lap of, or even if he does all 3 laps. And good water conditions, I bet he goes 135 average.
Yeah, that dude's gonna.
That's with us. I mean, I don't know if we're going. So obviously, right now it's looking bad, not looking good. I think Ronnie's trying to sell his business. That's putting a lot of stress on him. He's got a lot going on at the business with the closing dates and stuff like that. So we're not really sure. We're in limbo. We're gonna take it one step at a time, get through Bohormon, figure out what we're doing. But if we don't show up, 135. If we show up, I'm gonna somebody's taking Ken out. He ain't doing
it.
You just go out there and you before the final be like, hey, they switched it up. We're doing a flag start, Ken. So just wait for the boat to go by you with the flag.
Still hanging out on the front
Yeah.
stretch.
You just go.
Man.
I was
he'd
actually
still catch.
gonna say,
He'd still catch us. That boat's. I guarantee you, if they left their prop for that size course in New Zealand, I bet you it's being shipped over, and they're.
well,
Well,
I think they're
Jack's
going
over.
back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jack's home right now, so he can
Oh,
bring
is
it.
he?
He's also owes me a goat. I just made him a deal on some parts if he brings me a goat from New Zealand. So we'll see if he can get that thing on the plane.
Dude, if you get enough goats, you don't have to mow your yard.
That's
They
what
just-
I'm
they
going
just eat
for,
your-
man.
eat your grass.
That's what they did at Belleville.
I don't know.
Man.
Dude,
They
we
just
can-
I
had
don't know
to
if
eat the
you saw our
hill.
you saw our interview on HRL maybe, or if you haven't, check it
Yeah,
out.
I just
We were
watched
talking
it. It
about-
was pretty cool.
We were talking about who would win a goat race. I had to ask HRL. I said, "Man, we did this in Sorrel. Did we step over the line? Like, I was just being goofy with it." They're like, no, we just haven't posted. I'm like, yeah, I just figured we would have to take that content and put it on Chasin Tails if you weren't going to show it. I got a picture of Jack trying to figure out his setup for San Diego. I don't know what
Brett,
kind of
it is
homework
not
he's
your
doing.
last race. You're crazy. Why
It was
does
a
he?
weird shaped.
Well, it looks like he's just smoke should be coming out of his ears right now.
Yeah, I think. I mean, he's got a calculator out. Looks like he's trying to look at.
He's drawing. What is he drawing? A pyramid?
Yeah,
He's drawing
that's the
pyramids
injector
from
hat.
Egypt?
So
Yeah, I know,
obviously with the nozzles there, folks, he's trying to figure out the nozzle area with changing nozzles to make sure you're putting enough fuel into the blower there. But yeah, it's definitely smoke. I think somebody other than him should be figuring that out. But obviously he was low man on the totem pole that day.
That's like when you go and you open a door and like you surprise someone who's behind the door and there's like.
Yeah,
That's just you, Bobby.
we're gonna post this one on Chasin Tails right now, and we want y'all to get your best caption. Best caption wins a Chasin Tails t-shirt.
What is Jack thinking right now?
So
Caption this.
we do have a question. The whole pod was supposed to be questions. So from Cy Bowen, there's a couple. Why boats? Why race boats? What brings each of you specifically joy about boat racing?
Family.
Enjoy family,
Yeah.
yeah. Just being around everyone and family and friends.
53 years.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I feel like I'd have to say for me, building these boats the past few years and learning more about it, I mean, it gave me a new spark to the sport. Trying to figure out what each of these changes do. Obviously, I drove for Raylan for many years, and that's what I enjoyed about him. Every race, we had a different boat. I'm learning more now with Matt Henning on our team that not every time Ray told me what he was doing is what he actually did, or he'd tell me, hey, I think it's going to do this. He'd lie to me to see if I'd give him the right feedback. So obviously it worked, but I mean, that's just fun. It's trying to do new things. Obviously running the same boat year in, year out, you can tend to get burnt out, but I mean, I love changing things, and we'll continue to do that to keep us fresh.
I know for me, like, and you guys are the same way. You guys are fourth generation. We're all fourth generation, I guess. It always feels like me and Austin are different generations just because we started so much later than you guys. But
Shut up. We're not that old, man. Calm down.
kids
No.
know kids.
But it's like for me, like I always got to experience the race and watch the competition from and get, like, I guess it was inside perspective, but relative to me, outside perspective on what I was watching. It's cool to actually be able to go race myself and like think back on some of the races that I've watched and kind of have a better understanding of why something happened or why a driver did something that they did or maybe what they could have done differently. Like you said, like you spending more time on the setup and the why, kind of more of the science behind the boats. It's just like a different perspective, and every time you get to look at something from a different perspective, you can kind of gain a new appreciation for it. And not that I needed more appreciation for boat racing, but that for me was kind of one of my big driving factors of wanting to race was I've always loved talking about it and having opinions on it and giving Bob advice or telling Brandon what I think he needs to do in his next race. And I feel like if I'm going to have opinions, I should maybe like validate them a little bit and have some weight to throw around.
Bobby has been driving for years, and we don't validate his opinions.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially like with when you guys were driving 2 Grand Prix and like just kind of, it seemed like our family got more into it again. I was really into it when you were in coma and EMS. And not that we got out of it any less when you moved over to 14, but I think the sport slowed down a little bit for those years. It's kind of around COVID. And then when we ran 2 the one year, felt like everybody really got back into it. And I got back into it a lot. And that kind of fed into like more desire to potentially drive. And then once the opportunity kind of stars aligned, it kind of made sense to just give it a shot and see what happened. So it's definitely one of those things like you won't know unless you try. And I feel like I would have regretted it if I spent my whole life going to races and watching races and talking about races and never actually got to sit in the seat.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think after enough years sitting in Aunt Sandy and Uncle G's basement looking at the hundreds and hundreds of pictures covering the walls, I figured maybe one day I can do something cool enough to get my picture up there. So
you had a decent one in Tonawanda.
Yeah, there's.
I don't know if it'll make the wall, but
yeah, I don't know. I think it needs to either be a few feet under me or a buoy. Although I have allegedly done it, put a buoy a couple feet up in the air or something.
I really wish there was a picture of me in Valleyfield last year. That one would make the wall.
I did find the picture from Lakeland last year, and you see it hit the sponson tip, pops up about 4 feet, and you see it go right past where the wing indicator was, and then you just see about a 7-inch hole in the buoy.
Oh yeah,
allegedly.
You can see air leaving that buoy in the still shot.
Allegedly.
Man, if that was H1 Unlimited 3 years ago, you would have went to court and been penalized 3 months later.
Yeah, right.
Man. I talked to the referees directly after the race. There were no calls.
That's good.
At all.
That's good. Don't point it out.
No calls.
Max was trying to do that in Cambridge. He's like, I had no buoy. I'm like, dude, you sent that thing flying, bro. Everybody knows you hit the buoy. You was the only one in the buoy, bro. Some things you can't lie about, like when it's stuck on your sponson.
Yeah, Bob.
Oh.
So there's been lots of them.
So I gotta say, for me, it's 2 reasons. Number one, family and friends. I mean, when else are you going to have all your friends around and all your family around at the same time like you do at a boat race? Everyone lives different parts of the country. You develop these friendships and that you call family over the course of the years, and it just makes you come back year after year. It makes you want to bring your family back year after year. And second, it's got to be just racing, man. I mean, if I didn't have boat racing, I wouldn't have a license. I'd be out trying to race cars on the street. I mean, it's something about just putting that heavy pedal down and just going. I mean, and trying to do something with a boat that you're not supposed to do. I mean, not put holes in it. I'm not talking about that, Brandon. But I mean,
it's okay. It's fixed. It never happened. Looks like it never happened.
Never happened.
Never happened.
No clue.
The cowling never happened.
Cowling never happened either. Nope, never happened.
It's right
but
here.
Yeah, it's like it's hard to explain to people who never drove a boat, but you're not supposed to, like Kyle talked about, he wished he had a picture of him hanging it down the front stretch of Valleyfield getting too light. I mean, you're not supposed to do that, but those are the moments why it's so fun. You're like, holy shit, I almost just blew over. That's freaking awesome. Like,
and it's a feeling like no
other. Yeah, it's just it's an adrenaline rush. It's you go out there and you try to do it the safest way possible, and also you want to kind of go out there and feel a little dangerous at the same time. But it's the best feeling in the world.
I think my funnest way to explain when people ask what it feels like to drive one of them, I mean, going and entering a turn at a fast course, you're basically going almost from like a 0G feeling when you're up kind of out of the water, walking it a little bit, being a little sketchy, to throwing into that turn, being pinned up against the wall. I don't know exactly what we experience, or you guys definitely more, 2Gs, whatever, but from 0 to whatever, it's a crazy change, and just the feeling you get throughout your gut and the rush of your blood just getting thrown to the other side of your body is just weird and
unless
fun and
unless it's a Tonawanda. It's like you were stuck in a 55-gallon barrel and kicked down a mountain.
Yeah.
Or the Niagara Falls.
Or the Niagara Falls. I mean, jeez, that's probably what Roshan felt.
Yeah,
right.
that load when you hook up on a skid fin, there's nothing like that. There's no race car that has that. Well, maybe Formula One has that amount of downforce when you crank it in there. But I mean, obviously, all my experience on race courses and race cars, even in hairpin turns, you don't feel that hook up and go through a corner. And yeah, it gets. I mean, the GP, I feel like that's where the workout needs to be, is on your body and being able to take those loads. We've been watching a lot of our onboard this year and how much it takes the mask and moves it over on our face just from the sheer G forces. And it's why you got to have good seats. It's why all these, you guys are doing all the
and my mask
seats
is tight to my face, so
Yeah.
it's not like I wear it loose. It's tight, and just going through the turn, it starts to, and it doesn't want to ever move back.
Yeah.
No.
I tried to move it back a little bit, but
yeah. And for fans that don't know, obviously, we run fighter pilot helmets with oxygen, just like they do in the Navy and all that. And obviously, you've seen it in Top Gun. We wear those kind of air masks, so if we do go upside down in the event of an accident, we can breathe underwater and get our bearings before we get out.
I think one thing that's like kind of back to what we were just talking about, like when you go through a turn or like you kind of get onto that like second half of the backstretch, like you can feel to some degree that limit that or that boundary of disaster that you're running on, like especially in the turn. And I think like like probably JW Myers would get to speak to this better than anybody else. Like that you are really putting a lot of trust in that skid fin to hang on and keep you going in the direction you want to go. And
For sure.
like obviously I've never had the skid fin let go and just go straight into a wall, but like I guess as somebody that's been able to see that happen, like you think about it, like you can really feel how close you are to that limit of stuff going really wrong, or when you're going down the front stretch or either stretch, and you can feel the boat getting up off the water. That's one thing this year, outside of that one incident in Valleyfield last year. The boat liked to walk and kind of pop a little bit, but I never really got to feel what it was like on top of that pocket of air for like a smooth, consistent period of time. And with the boat this year, like it's really cool to be able to get a sense of that. But it's like cool and exciting and terrifying at the exact same time, which like to me is just the definition of adrenaline is being right on that limit.
Yeah, on that edge, big time.
And I don't know, Cy got to do the. Thanks for the question, Cy. You got to do the driving school this year, so I think Cy kind of gets it a little bit too.
Yeah.
That's
Jimmy Stewart did comment on this note of how boat racing is. Famous boat racer Wheeler Baker's famous saying, "Boat racing is the most fun you can have with your clothes on." That's pretty epic.
So if anyone's watching and they never drove a hydroplane before, but they would like to, get in contact with one of us. They put on a driving school every spring. I know they have one. I believe they have one on the West Coast, and I know they have one here in I think Ohio. Yep. So, we can get you that information. We can get you on the water and let you go experience it and have a blast, and hopefully you like it and want to get involved in boat racing somehow.
It's the best way to get on the water without having, connections to the sport, money to just go buy everything and kind of just say like, yeah, we're gonna throw money at it and make this thing go. While also you've spent some time in the classroom kind of understanding what it is you're getting yourself into, and then you get put on the water in a controlled environment. I will say personally, I thought the trial by fire was awesome, but I don't know that I would recommend it for everybody. It definitely helps speed up the process a little bit, but if you want to do it in I'd say a safer, more controlled way, somewhere where you feel like you have a little bit more control over how hard you're going to push, and kind of keep it to your comfort level, reach out to us, or you can reach out to Tony Black, and I believe Tom Newman,
Scott
Anderson.
Yeah.
Reach out to those guys directly. They'd love to have you. I know that school's grown. My understanding every year seems like there's more and more people going to it. We've got a few people this year, especially in Region 6, that went through the school and are now racing with us this year, which is always very cool to see.
It looks like there's 3 boats, and it's only in Region 6 in Ohio. So, might cost you a plane ticket, fly in, drive the boat for a weekend, but it's
Experience
worth
of a
it.
lifetime, though, man.
It's worth it.
It's
And
it's
you know,
a
if
full
you're,
boat race experience.
yeah.
Most races aren't too close to us either. You get that full
Yeah.
travel experience.
right.
Yep.
And they
Yep.
got a cool boat in the school. They got the Rock in the school.
Yeah.
And
The
then
Rock-
if you
the Rock
do
is
get
so awesome.
that is one of the best old 5 liters. And if
Yeah.
you do drive the boat, then you do officially get to become a Facebook warrior and have your opinion on how
Yes.
people should drive on Facebook.
Yeah.
Not like Kyle Bipes, where he just gets a registered. He thinks he's got an opinion. So one of them things. You know how it goes.
Oh,
We gotta get Kyle in a boat, man.
We got to do the testing session.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that this winter, fall,
I think it'd be
whatever,
cool.
before it gets cold.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's getting cold in Michigan. Trees are already
Yeah.
changing
It-
colors up here.
We were just sitting outside for dinner after taking the kids to show Lincoln at school, and it was like the wind was blowing. I'm like, it is cold. Why are we outside? That ain't cool. It needs to be warm for a little bit longer.
I don't know what happened to all the heat, but it's got to come back for a little bit. It's too damn early for this.
I don't know, man. Sweatshirt and short weather. I can live with that. I don't
That
mind
takes a
it.
special kind of special.
It's Michigan boys.
Yeah,
It's
something,
awesome.
something.
True Michigan boys, not Michigan, Delaware, Michigan, Delaware.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's cold enough to have a sweatshirt on, it's cold enough to have pants on.
Nah, Dave, shorts, winter jacket all year.
Yeah. It doesn't even matter if there's snow on the
So
ground. man.
Jimmy Stewart just said, if I can get another skiff without my wife Lisa knowing, it may be we can get another skiff driving. So you mean
Driving
for
school.
the school, driving
School.
school. That would
That'd be
be
cool.
awesome. That would be awesome. I
Yeah,
mean,
Caesar's got that one for sale. That'd be a perfect boat for it.
I want every class to grow, but you can never have enough skiffs.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's one of my favorite classes to watch. I mean,
We just need to get them together. That's the struggle. Unless there's a race in New Jersey, it's hard to get a lot of these guys out. And now I saw Mays Landing. They got some like a outlaw race the same weekend as Mays Landing, so that's going to kill boat count for skiffs at Mays Landing. But
Yeah.
you need to get them all together. There's probably
Mays
like
Landing
20
probably didn't move their date. It's probably
Look-
the outlaw group.
Yeah, they did. They had to move up. I don't know
Well,
if it's
they're
fun
not
run.
the
Jimmy
they're not
probably
the
knows,
brightest.
but I mean, you look at Greenwood Lake last time we had it. There was 24 skiffs there. Like, that's incredible. But it's
Yeah.
Greenwood Lake, New Jersey. That's why I guess that's why they continue their name Jersey Skiffs, because that's the only place they race. Unless you're the Stewart Navy and the rest of the group.
No, that's like Clyde McFarland keeps saying, "Oh, I'm coming out. I'm coming out." It's like,
He went testing.
did
He
he?
did go testing. Yeah, that's
He
my
probably
props.
had your prop.
Yeah, my props delayed a couple more days. He obviously tested it for me, making some changes.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, look, I sent you a prop that worked great on my boat. So it's got to work great on your boat. If it don't work great, fix your boat. All right, man, thanks. I ain't trying to work that hard. I just want to go around in circles.
I know Clyde said he was going to come out this summer, but I haven't seen him yet. And Birdsall, and
Well,
those are two boats that I want to watch compete, because every time they come out, they're fast. I mean, Birdsall, yeah, he finally came out last year after a 30-year hiatus, but that
Yeah.
boat is still one of the fastest skiffs out there. I mean, it doesn't hold the kilo record anymore.
no, but I think it still holds all the close course records.
Mile and
the
2/3.
1 mile and 2/3. I
Oh,
think
does
holds
it?
them all.
Does it?
Yeah.
Jimmy Stewart, does Birdsall still hold all the closed course records? Yeah, it'll be a minute before he responds to the
But
delay.
yeah, it was pretty cool. We got to sit down and talk to them guys down in Gunnersville, and obviously our families go way back and racing in Florida. My grandpa and them, and just cool people, man. And they're just again back to being in the sport. They're happy to be there. They're not. They obviously want to chase that record that they lost, but they're just happy. They're having fun again, and that's what it's all about. Still working on a boat. This is a boat that was built in the 80s and comes out and still competitive. A lot of these skiffs are. You don't see that in these in our hydroplane classes, and that's what keeps the uniqueness about the skiffs. I think it doesn't really matter. They have a good weight limit in there. If you got a good solid boat from back in the day, like Garantano did, it's still competitive or the fastest thing out there. I mean, Jimmy Stewart's boat's pretty old too, and he's kicking everybody's butt. So
Yeah.
it's one of the coolest things about the nostalgia of that class. Some things they take too far, like you got to have the JS and the 35 and the numbers, the same size. It's a little crazy, but we still break the rules. It's Mason's fault.
Talk about breaking rules. My
He
mom
has
said,
the-
I believe Strickland beat him, which means she's talking about Birdsall. Talk about
Yes.
breaking rules. What did that fuel smell like?
Jimmy Stewart said he has the 1 2/3 course record, and I believe Rob still has the 1 1/4 miles.
Okay, then who has a mile?
Man, I'm on.
I know. I know. Pac's been tried for years to get that and couldn't get it.
No,
He was trying two years
we'd
ago,
try
I
and
think.
then be like 20 seconds off. I'd be like, man, I thought we were gonna be close. He's like, I thought I would too.
Oh,
all right, so it looks like here I pulled it up. Garantano owns the 1/4 mile and the kilo. He also owns the 1 2/3 miles.
Garantano does?
Yes, Birdsall has the 1 1/4 and 1 mile record.
Oh, okay. So I think
67 mile an
I
hour.
think so. Garantano set that probably mid-early 90s.
Yep. Let's see. It's in here. 1 2/3. No, April 11th, 1987 in St. Pete.
Jesus.
So now we talk about Lakeland having the different courses Saturday and Sunday. Obviously, St. Pete switched up their courses because all three of those records are from St. Pete: the 1 2/3, 1 1/4, and mile. That's pretty neat.
Got some fast water down there, man.
Yeah, you ain't racing in that water
fast.
anymore.
No,
It's too many gators in St. Pete nowadays.
Is there?
Right?
Yeah,
I'm good.
like the whole
Hard
course
pass.
is like filled with them.
Wait, there are gators in Lakeland too,
Yes. Oh, I know. I saw one.
Yeah.
That's why I don't race Lakeland. Also does.
and there's also big black snakes up under the docks.
Yeah. Shut the. Just
So-
stop. Stop talking. I don't need to hear this. Okay. I already checked the cockpit every time I got in.
But it's safe. Brandon's jumped in the water there.
Yeah. Boat on
Dude,
fire. I'm good.
if I flipped
Ain't
in
no
Lakeland,
Patrick
you might
Hayworth
catch
here.
me
I'm
just
getting in.
freaking hanging out in the cockpit.
Yeah.
Throw me in.
Always love. I think it was Stuart we'd go to, and the rescue team would be talking, and they'd be like, "All right, when you get to us, or if you flip, and if we're coming to you, and all of a sudden we're swimming the other way, you better swim faster because there's something behind you."
So Uncle George brought up a good point. That was pre-roll cage.
Yeah.
Now, should the records should be froze? Since I mean, they talked about this numerous times, but come on, it's like hanging a sail out there. They got to be slower now. I mean, I know Garantano broke the record, but I'm not going to get into details about that. But those roll cages are sails. Maybe they should freeze the records that were pre-roll cage and let these boats go out and set competition records, being they did take a hull that is supposed to be a certain size, certain width, certain everything, and add a big roll cage on top of it.
Yeah.
And plus, it made the boats heavier too.
Yep.
Get it caught up to
100%.
this decade too.
Yeah, I have no clue. Nothing's changed except for roll cages, and boats just they can't do it. I mean, you've seen some of the fastest boats. I don't know. Jimmy's obviously fast now.
Yeah.
I don't know how close he's gotten on a record course like, say, Lakeland, or how close Strickland was last year because he was moving at Lakeland. But that is stick your hand out the window. Now put like multiple of them, and that's a roll cage. It's a ton of drag. I don't know how, like you said, how the 1/4 mile kilo, maybe they were soft records back then.
We have
maybe
Jay
propeller
Hardy
technology.
saying starting procedure changed ? And Rob made the speed record with cage.
Just the kilo, not a. I don't think he made a close course record with it.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
And then Jimmy was saying he agrees they should have frozen the records pre-cages. Birdsall was crazy fast in Lakeland last year. It's going to be hard to break any close course records with the cages.
Jay says it's starting procedure, which it could be. I mean, these new starting procedures get you up to the start line way. But
Yeah,
sooner.
but I mean, we put a lot. When I was riding with Tom Bacardini, we put a lot of effort in the trying to break a record. I mean, he was the class of the field back then. We put everything into it: propellers, engines, everything. I mean, like I said, we
Different
were 15
rudders.
seconds off. And it was like we would come up to the start with a flying start and like lane 3 and then go to 1. So I don't think it's starting procedure. I think it's a lot of the windage. Obviously straightaway, everything is in one plane. So you're pushing the air in one plane. Once you go into the corner, now your plane's changing. Now it's changing the direction of the back of the boat and all this. I mean, obviously in the hydros, we know we've learned a lot about aerodynamics in those. It's still the same in a Jersey Speed Skiff, and
Yeah.
it's going to be hard. Somebody might do it someday and then prove us wrong, but yeah.
Oh, so Jay said thought the old start used to be when it started when the first boat crossed the line. It could have been, but it might have been. But either way, I mean,
That's before my day and age.
but you have to think. Say you're second behind the start, it doesn't make up for all these boats being 20 seconds off the record.
You know what fixes it? If we don't freeze records, just put 350s in them. EFI too. EFI, no carburetors.
Yes, do away with carburetors. EFI, oh, don't even get me started.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would like to see the records frozen.
I mean, just give these guys a shot at it. It's really cool. Obviously, you've broke a record. I broke a record. It's such a cool feeling. And then have that on your wall, saying that you broke the record. I mean, it's neat to do. Well, at least have it as a carrot people can chase, not a carrot that's unattainable. And it'd be different if all things were the same. Like if it was a 2.5 stock or 5 liter, but it's not all things equal nowadays, I would say.
That's like these people in Valleyfield. Oh, Jan Thread holds the fastest time trial in Valleyfield. It's like that's when he had like 600 horsepower more.
Yeah,
they're different engines, man.
Yeah,
you can't compare those times,
right? You're really close to them now.
Yeah, it's like
less horsepower.
Yeah,
they had I think upwards of 2,000 back then, so 600 more. Yeah,
that's crazy. Cool. All right, boys. Got anything else you want to discuss?
San Diego. I'm just kidding. No. San Diego is going to be pretty cool. Beauharnois, that's going to come down between in the S class. That's looking pretty tight in points there. The F class is really close. Not sure about 350s.
350s is pretty close, yeah.
Is it pretty close? And
yeah,
then,
I don't know. I'm pretty sure like all 3 positions can still be changed.
Great news is we have this awesome app called the HRL app you can download on the App Store and Google Play Store, and you can go look at the ranking yourself. And I will look at it right now for you. So between Fred and Eric McKenna, there's 18 points. Between Fred as the leader and Carl St. Vincent, there's 42 points. So that McKenna battle with Fred, that's tight. I mean, obviously, I put ourselves in a hole with the Grand Prix with jumping the gun and losing 36 points in one heat, being double points. But I mean, that's if you jump the gun, you're only getting 8 points. So, and you got to push the starts in that class. So there's a lot to be had right there. Mm-hmm. And then Barber, he's 13 points back from third. Can he make a run with all his bad luck this year? We will not pick him for the win. He told us not to. He said, do not pick me. Every time you guys pick me, I have bad luck.
I know the only...
Go ahead.
Yeah, the only class that I know the championships already, I think, predetermined is Skiff.
Yeah, Skiff. I would say Skiff 2.5's pretty locked up.
Yeah,
there's 60
I know.
points.
I think Skiff's the only one that's mathematically
mathematically locked up.
Yeah,
okay.
I know. Like 2.5's pretty big gap. Like Jacob would basically need to not run for anybody to have a chance. 2,500 literally wide open for the championship and the top 3 spots.
Who's top 3?
I want to say it's Eddie, and he's got Grant. Like a 9-point lead, 8-point lead, something like that over Grant, and then I think John's in third.
Is he?
I think so. Pretty sure. Yeah. I could be wrong. But yeah. He's a little ways back now. Valleyfield kind of created a little gap between Eddie and Grant and him. But I believe Sam's not far off of John for third.
Let me go back and look at that. I was looking at 2.5. So I'm on the wrong one here.
Oh, my God. Yeah. So Sam's only
Sam's 16. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's podium spots up for grabs too.
And for anyone who doesn't know what we're looking at on our phones right now, HRL does have an app that you can download, and it keeps track of points throughout the weekend, championship points, it delivers some news. It's really cool.
Videos.
GPs with the time trials, they post the time trials times on there. It's a really cool app. Wish all of Hydroplane Racing had it. And Skiff Racing, sorry, Skiff guys, Hydroplane and Skiffs. But it's a really cool inboard. Yeah, there you go. It's a really cool app. So just download it if you follow HRL. When you're just putzing around and take a look at it. So 2.5 so between 2.5 stocks, yeah, you have first place pretty much locked up, but I think you have 2, 3, and 4.
Second through fifth is separated
Second
by
through fifth.
15 points, and the big thing with that in the 2.5 stock class is the top three move up to 2,500. So obviously you want to stay in that top three. So 15 points between those second through fifth, that's pretty big. And even from fifth back, there's another 13 points to Matisse that just won the Tonawanda final. I mean, he could be a player in there too, only like one heat behind making it into the 2,500. So
Yeah.
it's going to be intense, and glad that pressure's on you.
I know. I know. I talked with my dad about it. We were kind of looking at points after Tonawanda, and we kind of came to the conclusion we're like, instead of going in there, we're sitting third, we've got promotion secured right now, but instead of going in there playing defense and just worrying about trying to keep the guys behind us. I mean, Derek's only 2 points back. We really feel like trying to catch Matthew and move into second is, kind of an offense is the best defense mindset that week. And now we got to be smart, go out, jump the gun, go out, hit a buoy or something, pretty much count being in 2.5 again next year. But yeah, like you said, I mean, second through fifth is 15 points. I mean, it's going to be fun. I know I did some looking at rankings and got pretty interesting heat draws if my heats are correct for the first round and Bournemouth. So it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out for the weekend.
Well, definitely. Don't want to leave this out, but the novice class, the J stock, the kids in the J stock, fifth place is only 25 points behind first.
Wow.
Fourth place is 24. Third is 14. Second place is only 9 points behind. So that's coming cool. down. That's coming down to the wire there too.
How about that 1 and 2 brother versus sister?
Yeah,
that's bragging rights awesome. At home. That's
I'd
cool.
I'd have my friggin' boat sitting in my bedroom, man.
Yeah, you ain't
Austin, if I was going against him, there ain't no way that thing's sitting out in the garage.
Nope. You just add it
padlocked.
Yeah, you just
I'm sitting in the cockpit with some tools.
Do they run the novice class at Bournemouth?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And I think
that's cool.
I think they have 1 or 2 other of their own events still, right? Like Aaronsville. I don't know if that's ran yet. Is that still a thing? I saw it on the schedule last year.
Let's see what's on the schedule this year. No, I think this is it. And this is it for them as far as the schedule goes on here. I know they had different J-Stock racing and outboard racing up there and CBF this past weekend. And obviously Rob Stevenson, who used to run 2.5 stocks with us, his son won over the weekend. So that's pretty cool again.
That's
keeping
cool.
The family going. Another generation. How much longer till they get a 2.5 stock again?
Right. Shoot, he might be able to buy his old one back. Who's got that now?
Grant Hearn.
Oh, okay.
Grant Hearn's got that one. That's the Henderson they have that's sitting right now.
So, is it sitting or is it back at the Stevenson family?
Maybe it's back.
Man, I love starting rumors.
Yeah. Did you guys do any of that 101 stuff, or are we saving that for next week?
So we did go record clips. We need to figure something out, though. Unfortunately, the way sim works when you're like in the fly cam view, the clock for the start, it's so small and we'll never be able to see it on here. So I'm going to work on editing it in, and we can go over next week. The plan's to go over kind of the warm up and the starting procedure, the different ones between. We're not really going to get into lanes necessarily, fight for lanes and assign lanes, but just the mechanics of a countdown clock, 1 minute and kind of what happens during the warm up.
We'll also give everyone a look at the game Hydro Sim that they've developed. It's pretty cool. It's got Grand Prix. It's got Unlimiteds on there. I know they're trying to get some other classes like 2.5 stock and Jersey Speed Skiff going. It's going to take a while because it takes a long time to develop these boats. There's a lot of physics. It's crazy how much work goes into doing this, but it is pretty cool. So we'll give you guys a look at that. You can see Hydro Sim. We'll tell you how to sign up, how to download it. It is free. Once in a while, there is a little donation thing going around for the Scott who designed it to just try to help him keep going, because it does cost him some money to keep developing it and to keep the server up and all that. And it's really cool. All you need, I mean, you can do it on a regular game paddle, but I don't know if I have my steering wheel, but we have steering wheels and pedals that we use. And it's realistic. We have leagues going during the winter. I know they've been talking to try to get a league going soon. But it's pretty cool. It's realistic, and it's a lot of fun. So, if you don't have a boat but you want to race, you can get on HydroSim and do that. So we'll show you how to download it, how to get on Discord so you can talk to the whole HydroSim community and go from there.
Is this the wheel that you're supposed to be sending Kyle Bipes? Is that what he keeps talking about?
Man, someone's got to remind me. It's sitting in my garage.
Do I just text you every day until
he
you
has
do that?
reminded
yes.
you?
I mean, he has reminded you. That was one of the questions he asked on the
Where's
group
my
chat.
wheel?
I know. I do need to get that to him, because we need to get him on there, but we're going to have to mute him.
Yeah. Now, one other question that was just dropped, I saw it in our group here on Riverside. Is there any chance of getting Greenwood Lake back? That would be a question for Jay Hardy. I know he's worked on it in the past. It's a lot of work. I don't know if he's still watching. Definitely a race we would love to have back. I mean, they had a lot of boats last time we went. Like I said, a lot of skiffs, and put on a really good show. It's probably the fastest water here in the Northeast, at least. And obviously records could be set. So maybe it comes back, we freeze the skiff records, and we go put down some records.
That would be cool.
So who do we contact about freezing these skiff records? I mean, you have a skiff.
Dude,
so
there's
class.
you know the thing. You got to write a rule proposal and then get all the. It's like being in the government. You got to get everyone on your side and get the right clicks in your corner, those kind of things. So.
And then you got to pay them off. You got to lobby for it and do this and all right.
Good with that.
What kind? If you change this.
What kind of Chasin Tails T-shirts of all these people can we make if they don't go with what we want? We ain't paying nobody, but we do have some big things again, man. Obviously, your mom says she doesn't want Greenwood Lake to come back. Bad memories. Maybe we should pull them pictures up one of these weeks.
Greenwood Lake was an awesome race.
She went for that wild ride.
Greenwood Lake was an awesome race. It's nice water, nice park, cool viewing area because it was a big hill, so you could just sit up on the hill and watch and look down at the race. It was awesome. I like growing up there. I mean, I didn't grow up there, but I like growing up going to that race all the time. It was pretty cool. Hopefully they bring it back.
Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, next week it's going to be a epic episode. Corey Peabody's joining J. Michael Kelly and Jamie Nielsen, 3 of the top drivers in H1 Unlimited that are vying for the Gold Cup in San Diego. So we get to talk about San Diego some more. Talk to these guys. I mean, the intro to it is the top 3 getting the inside lane. I mean, you want to know how to get the inside lane. These guys probably aren't going to tell you their secrets, but we'll try to pry it out of them for sure. It's going to be good. And then after Bahorma, we'll have a recap show of the HRL season finale, and then we're going to try to get the rest of the H1 Unlimited fleet for the Gold Cup on prior to San Diego. One of those things, guys, if you want to ask these guys anything, obviously in our live while we're doing it, but if you can give it to us before so we can prep, make sure we don't miss your question. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm really excited about it. We know these guys, we're friends with them, but we don't get to talk to them about their stuff as much as we would like to. Obviously, racing H1 Unlimited is a pretty cool thing. The Gold Cup's a pretty incredible thing as well. So, be interesting.
Oh, it'll be awesome
for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to those
group of guys. I mean, everyone in Unlimited's. I like all those drivers. They're pretty cool guys. So it's going to be interesting to have them on, see what they have to say. I want to definitely ask them what they think of the new starting procedure, dropping the 80-mile-an-hour rule, but also just get their overall thoughts of, what do they think about Unlimited versus an inboard, and gotta rack up those questions for them. Have those
for sure.
What do we call it? The fire questions? No.
Yeah. Rapid fire
questions.
questions.
Yeah, we'll have to get some rapid fire questions. I have to think about them. They'll have to be good. But I'm going to have to tell them
who was on the dock in that picture. That'd probably be one that you're going to wind up asking.
But they have to answer fast. I don't want to sit there and think about it. Like, you got to answer fast.
Yep, quick.
So I got to slide some good questions in there.
There you go.
So I think it's a wrap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Want to add
Yeah,
anything, boys?
No,
I think
thanks
that's
for
it.
Yeah, appreciate
Well, that's
everybody
it.
for watching.
I'd like to thank one of our sponsors, River City Printing. Always nice having them support us and show appreciation to them.
Keep
So,
the chat
thank
lively.
You.
Yeah.
Keep the chat lively.
Couldn't do it
Dude.
without Kyle. He's one of
Dude.
the best people in our chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely take a look at our website, chasintailspodcast.com. We have all our merchandise. I have a few sales this week. So all that stuff goes to help us keep this going, do better things for you. Like I said, we're trying to line up some really cool interviews this off season. We're not going anywhere. We're not just a race season podcast. We got a lot of cool things going, a lot of new content coming out. So make sure follow, subscribe us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And we'll see you next time on episode 20.
Have a good one.
Do it. See you guys.